Hello and welcome back. In our last video we discussed the big blue frame here and some of the reasons why I opted to have it fabbed off-site versus trying to do it myself. And believe me, that was a good decision on my part. Today what I would like to talk about is how we will try to approach the build assembly process and whether or not we want to try to build from the bottom components up or the top components down. And if you stop and think about how this, how a router actually works, everything basically focuses around the gantry. So it just makes sense to try to build top down. So I think what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and do a top down build, and that means that I'm going to take my piece of extruded aluminum here, my 80 by 160 millimeter piece of extruded aluminum, and thankfully it has come from the factory with 6.8 millimeter holes already in it, just right for 8 millimeter screws. So what I'll do is I'll tap 8 places this end, 8 places that end, and this will allow me to attach my vertical uprights. Once I get my vertical uprights attached, I'll transfer that those dimensions. We'll drill the plate. We'll get that attached. We'll attach the carriage, the bearing carriers, and that will determine placement of the Y rails. And basically, it's just transfer holes and put them where they fit. So this component here is going to pretty much drive the whole assembly. So what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and tap these holes here. I'll use a little power tapper. I'm going to use my electric drill, and it'll save some wrenching and save my wrist. And you can do this quite successfully as long as you take your time. Use lubricant, take your time, and you'll be just fine. So, okay, no magic here. I have my 8 millimeter tap chucked up into my drill driver, and we will just go ahead and tap a few of these holes, show you how it's done, or at least how I do it. And a word of caution again, keep everything lubricated and you'll be just fine. Don't rush. Back the drill out frequently. Clear the chips, re-lube, go in again, back it out. More lubrication. You cannot over-lube this. So you can, however, try to drive that tap in too fast. So just be careful. First hole tapped, full tap depth. Move on to the second hole. Again, slow and easy and lots of lubrication. That was full tap. I'm just going to double check. I think we're good. Yep. Okay. I think you've got the idea. We'll do one more. Again, lubricate. Take it slow. And try not to wiggle and wobble too much. The tap will pretty much self-align with the hole. So it'll give you a good hole. Don't be afraid to go in multiple times. Again, lubrication. Keep it lubed up. Full depth, back it out, and that is pretty much how I tap my holes using a little power driver. Again, slow, easy, lots of lubrication, and I dip my tap into the lube fluid. That pretty much cleans the tap, all the swarf off of it, all the little fines, and it just keeps everything on the. Here it's a little grubby there, and nice and clean. So that's the trick. Keep it clean. So I'm going to finish tapping the rest of these. You get the idea. You don't need to watch me tap the rest of these. I'll finish this side up. We'll do the back side. And tapping operation is complete on our extruded aluminum. The next video, I'll show you how I lay out for the support components. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my layout die, so I'll talk more about how I darken the surface up. It's pretty straightforward. I'll let the cat out of the bag. Just use a wide tip Sharpie and darken the surface up. That way when you scribe your material, your scribe lines are a little more pronounced and easier to see. Another thing that I would suggest, if you don't already have one, would be an automatic center punch. This helps with the alignment where you're not trying to hold the punch and smack it with a hammer. Just give it a push. It'll make an indent into the material, and then go back with your heavy center punch and your hammer and give it a tap for a more, I guess, for a deeper reference point. Valuable tool here, and you can get very accurate with it. Very small, fine point. It's easy to see. So until then, we will see you in the next video, where we will begin layout and drilling of the support components. Have a good day.